So I'm going to show you how I'm advancing with these units here. For example, this tower, we're going to take 2 away from this wall. So we go 1, 2, 3, and we simply don't move 1 legion. This one, 1, 2, 3, and again we simply don't move the legion. This should be my artillery, and it is the onager. This is the other tower, which is go after this bastion. 1, 2, 3, and we'll put both pushing legions here because I want to concentrate on this bastion first with my firepower. This should be my ballista. Now, if I take this, now as you can see, the tower's moved 1, 2, 3. So you have to, if somebody enters this hex, you have to count 2 spaces for every hex the tower entered. So it'd be 2, 4, 6. So it would be 6 just to enter this hex. So he would have to go 1, 2, 3, and 6 is 9. He gets in the hex and he automatically goes to the top free of charge. Costs no movement points. This is our ram. We take the other archer that is here. We're going to have this archer move out, and he goes 1, 2, and then it's 6 to enter that tower, which is 8 and free to go on top. So 2 archers are on top there. Again, this one stays, this one stays. And then we will move, well, this one's part of the 12th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get this one up there. We will move this missile 4 away right there. These guys will now enter the towers. They didn't push, they just waited, and then they entered the tower. So you went 1, 2, and 6 is 8. 1, 2, and 6 is 8. They're back in there. Just a little maneuvering thing. Let's get the testudos up there. And our ram goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. Now Titus, well, let's get these guys. They're going to hang in the back because they're going to get ready to advance through a breach. And let's get this artillery set up. Remember, 4 away. I want 4 away from both. So it'd be right there. And we're going to show the missile 4 away too. This one does the same with the missile ready to fire on top. And this one does the same right there. The leader when I move this tower up, I want the gap to be seen so most of my units can shoot through the gap. I don't need it there right now. That's why it's 2 away. I try to leave the gap for ultimate fire. Then I try to get everybody I can within range of at least one strength point. Okay. I move everything to the point where I can get a clear shot, one clear shot without firing through siege towers, and hit the 28 table, and that's what I got sitting here with all my men. Now, some men are in vulnerable spots, but we'll see what the Judeans would like to do. So, that's the Roman movement phase for the first turn. So, any melee? There is none. So that would be the end of the Romans' first turn, and we move to the Judeans' first turn. Judeans' first turn start with a rally phase. Judeans get a reserve die roll because once the area of a city starts getting attacked, the militia start rallying and coming to their aid. So in their reserve roll, at the start of his rally phase, so he rolled a 3, so he gets 3 men, and then we determine what they are. He will get a militia, a zealot, and a militia. So now I will pick, I can choose any faction I want to get him from. I get a zealot and 2 militia. So we add the militia behind their lines and they can come up later on it, and I think I'll give them the zealot there too, since we lost the zealots. This is the only guy that got hurt on our first fire mission. He needs a 4 in range of missile fire. So the modifications to rally that guy is going to be see that little square 4 inside the square box? That's his rally number. That's everybody's rally number. It's a 4. You need to get a 4 or less. He can minus 2 off the dice for being stacked with his leader. And then being within a missile range of Roman missile fire, not just artillery, it has to be missile fire. He has to subtract 1, or he has to add 1. So he ends up with a subtract 1 off the dice. 5 becomes a 4, and he gets it. So this person rallied back, and that's it for the rally phase. We move to the Roman missile fire phase. So if I start with this, so this is what I was saying, I get maximum firepower on a bastion here now by not moving up on the first turn. And he couldn't do anything about it. So my firepower, if I move to this bastion and I go 3, 6, 7, 8, now of course firing through a tower, I'm going to be minused. This one's wide open if I go, where's my onager? Right there. Onager travels from center to center. I don't believe crosses that hex side. It crosses, intersects, and intersection is okay. You have to physically be inside the hex. And this one's even better. Doesn't even cross, so we have 7, 11. 11 and 6 is 17, 18, 19, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So I can get 27 on this bastion. Let's see where that puts us. Go to the missile table. We look on the bastion chart. Asterix means temple quarters. Bastion chart. And we just missed the 30, but we're at the 24 table, so let's roll for the Romans. And we have a 4. And we're getting no minuses here. So it's a 4, which gives us double D's. So in this, you're not allowed to take the entire double D on one unit. So both units will receive the disruption. And that's part of my plan, again, to take out his firing units on me. So that succeeded pretty well there. And then, really, I only have this left, and I'm not going to waste time shooting right there. Let's hit with the ram on the wall, and we get another 4. And I only have one factor at a 4, but it's a 2 damage. So you grab one of these markers, and we're going to say 2 damage on it right there. But let's hit this one on a 28. And a 28, I rolled a 2. And we get a D result. So right here, excuse me, it's not a 28 I'm looking for, it's a 30 I'm looking for, which I can't quite get a 30 yet, but I'm hoping to get it after the catapults turn over. So that's for that one. Now we roll to this one. And this one's not a big deal. I don't have a bunch of people up there. This one we'll just take the 11 again. Right on there. We'll add 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You can't fire. 15, 16, 17. We can go 17 on that table. I need an 18 to shoot. Well, I don't have 18. I would like to get 18 up there. Did I count everybody? 11, 12, 13. Okay, so when you make your move, you make sure you have at least 24 if you can get. On these ones on the side, I can't get 24, but I can get 18. So let's shoot 18. And I have a 6 at 18. And that is a double D on this fort. So we'll disrupt him and him. So again, so far we're just trying to reduce their firepower. Same thing here, 18 on the line and a 2. And I believe that 2 misses, and that one does. So we stopped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 archers from hitting our guys right now when he goes to take his missile fire. And that's what I'm looking at to do. When his missile fire comes, reduce him whatever he's looking at. Let's hit this ram on the wall right there. 1 factor, 4. And it is a 2. And this is the end of the Roman missile fire phase. And now it's the Judean missile fire phase. So it's the Judean's fire phase. Now, since there's usually going to be a lot of targets, I look at what is most dangerous to me if I were the Judeans, which would be the ram. If he can't get through the walls, then that greatly helps me as a Judean player. So the ram's important, and then these archers up on the towers would be important. Now he did disrupt me here. So over here we have some long range. It'd be out of its primary range. 2 hexes, it gets the top number of 3. So the bottom hex would be a 1. The bottom number's a 1 more than 2 hexes away. So he would have a 2 hitting the archer on top of the tower. So you go to the target hex, and you go to tower, and the strength is a 2. We have to roll here, so we need a 6. And the roll's a 4, missed. Let's hit the ram, the pushing units. We have a rock, and then here we have 2 archers within a 2 hex range, so you use the top number, which is 3 and 3 is 6. Now if you go right down a hex side, you have to draw a straight line from center to center. You go right down a hex side, you can still shoot it. You have to totally be in, go cross the hex that blocks you, which this wall would block him, but since it's going down the hex side, he can still do it. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in this example, you go to the tower, because that's your target hex. Oh, excuse me, it's the ram, target hex. And you have a 10. Now I'm on this table. So let's roll, see what we get. And we have a 4. And then any modifiers would apply. Now remember, fresh heavy infantry in the hex does not apply if you're in a siege engine. So they don't get that. And everything looks good. So you do end up with a 4 on the ram, which is 1 disruption. So I will take the 6 and turn it over for disruption, as so. Now, any other fire, we have our long range ballista. If I try to shoot, let's say, let's try to shoot this artillery on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hexes out on a ballista is a 5. With artillery on the ground, you go to artillery on ground. We quite don't get the 6, so we're shooting from here. So it looks like you need a 5 or a 6, and a 1 misses. So that would take care of the fire phase for this section. And then we move on to the next one. And the next one, again, we have the ram right here. So let's hit it. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We disrupted 1 archer there. Well, a 10 still seems pretty good to me right now. So let's not use that archer. Let's have that archer shoot at something else. Is there anything else to shoot at? Because I don't like these archers up here. But if I just take one of my archers, it's a 3 on top of the tower. And that's on the worst table. So we might as well combine them on the ram. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a 13. Does that help me on the ram? Nope, I need up to a 15 to be effective. So it really don't do any good to add more there. So let's just hit the ram. Ooh, and a 6 on the ram at a 10. And it's double D. And we would disrupt both these guys. If you have double D, you can't apply both disruptions to 1 unit if you have 2 units there. So they both come disrupted. So we hurt that ram. And then we'll take the last 3 and hit the archer. And again, we would need a lucky roll of a 6. Oh, and I just missed with a 5. So that takes care of that fire phase. We have pushing units on a tower here, I forgot. We have an onager. So I have 4, 5, 6 out of long range to there. So I have a 6 on a ram there, which puts me on this table. 3, and a 3 misses. I'm just showing you the steps by step. I'm not going to do this every turn. We will speed it up. And so let's hit this next Judean section, which is going to be right here. We disrupted 2 archers there. So he only has 4, 5, 6, 7 to do anything with there. This can't hit on this side. So let's hit this archer guy on top of the tower with a 7. And I don't quite have the 8. I should have combined these two. That's what I'll do. I'm not going to take this shot here. My bad. On this long shot, I'm going to use him to missile fire way over here. He can go right down this row of hexite and hit this top of tower, which will give him the 8 that he needs on this table. If we're firing through a tower, which we are not, so nothing applies there. Oh, a stinking 1. Missed. Well, not good rolls. Well, the Romans didn't roll good either, so can't say I'm prejudiced. Bad rolls for everybody. Let's move to this one. Let's hit a ram pushing. It's only a 2. Is that anything? I can't even do that. Let's hit a testudo. We can do a testudo for 2. And that misses. Let's hit... I got a 7 here. The 7. Let's get artillery on the ground. Why not? Right there. Let's try it. 2. Wow. Very bad rolling. And that's it for the Judean missile phase. Now we move to the Judean movement phase. And we can shift some stuff around. Not really. And what we do is we shift the disrupted units. We get them out. And we replace them if we can with fresh firing units. And we'll worry about rallying them later. So I'll do that and come back and show you what I got. Well, let me just show you, since I haven't showed you. To go down any elevation, it's 2. So for these guys to go down, it's 2. Their movement's 5. 3. And we'll stop there. I'm going to transport these guys over. And I'll really only do it from here. It costs half to go down a wall. You double it because you're fully stacked. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then these guys would move to there. So I'm just switching them, putting fresh firing units there, because when my turn comes again, I can have more units firing. We can protect this side a little bit. Thinking about running a sortie out against this. I'm going to put 2 zealots right there. I'll just move some militia here. I don't think he can really run up on me here. Let's close the gap right there. Okay. Let's make a quick sortie out there, see what happens. And then we'll do the same. So after moving the disrupted units behind the line and replacing the line with fresh archers, and I carrying out a sortie here, I want to try to do damage to the towers as well as the rams. I think I'm going to take the one off the end. So he has an 11 and I have 14. It'll be 1-to-1 attacking the guys on the bottom. You go over here in a 1-to-1 table, not bad. And then here you also have modifiers that you would put on, and there's nothing to have to do with anything there. So let's roll the 1-to-1, and we have a 2, and that misses. But no matter what, I blocked this tower from getting in there, unless he kills those guys, we'll see. So it's back to the Romans' turn. Roman turn number 2. We want to rally this guy here, because he's really going to go after the ram. Oh, So the Judean missile phase. Again, I think what's most important for him is to stop this ram. So we have 2, 4 dropping rocks. And I think I'm going to hit him with these 6. And since you're shooting down along a hex side, this would block the shot, but this is open, and since it's right along the hex side, you're allowed to do it. The block has to be totally transversing the hex, and this is not. It's along the hex side. You go from the center here to the center of that hex. Now I made one change. I had moved to fill the gaps in the bastion. I had moved archers from this side. I changed it. I took archers from this side. So just to let you know, as a Judean. So all this is going to hit this. I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the missile table on a ram. Now 10 puts me here. I think I want to go after that ram with a 15. Really, let's put damage on it. So I'll take these 6 and hit this also. So it's a 16 now, which puts me on that table. Let's see what I can get here. And a 3. And a 3 disrupts a unit. Now, for me, if I disrupt this guy, then I can't operate the ram. Because remember, it's my turn, he's firing first. So I'm going to kill already my disrupted unit, and there's 1 casualty now. But now the ram is still operational. So, bad roll. I mean, I tried to get the ram from hitting. Now he's probably going to put a hole in the wall. I'm not rolling that great yet. Okay, these 2 are out of range from this, the primary range, but whatever. I have a 2. Can a 2 do something to somebody on top of the tower? Yes. I do need a 6, but let's do it. Missed. And long range here. Let's hit the artillery unit at a 9 with a ballista. And that's a strength 5, artillery on the ground, right there. It'll put me right here. Can I get another one? No, these won't reach. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would reach this, but forget that. I would rather hit the artillery. But what do I need? Artillery on the ground, and I have to -1 off my dice. So again, I need a 6. If I went for the tower, I would have 5, 6, I would have a 7, which would still put me on that table. So it don't matter. Need a 6. Might as well try you might as well try to hit. Okay, another miss. So this unit is done with their missile fire. Let's move to this unit. You can combine missile fire, it don't matter. Now here, again, we're going after this ram. Let's do it. 2, 4, 6 is 10. I can put 16 on that ram. Let's do it. That puts me on that table. Okay, let's get a good roll here. Oh my gosh. Just rolling like crap. Okay. This one here, we have a tower pushing, we have missile firing. I got a 9 now, because remember, he had disrupted some. I took him off and replaced him. So there's 9 archers on top of a tower. Put me there to go after just that Valetti, and that means he doesn't get it on me. But what if I go after the guy on the ground? And I throw in the onager on it, which is 4 more, which is 13. That would give me right there. Let's do that. Let's put the onager on it and go after... Let's go after the missile fire guy. Oh my gosh, another one. Wow, not rolling good at all. Okay, along this wall, my units are still farther back, you know. So here, if I take these two and these two archers and go after the testudo, it's the same kind of table I get if I go after this missile firing guy. So let's hit the missile firing guy. I've got 4 on top of the tower, and I rolled a 4, and that missed. Okay, nothing but blanks going on here. And again, here's 1, 2, 3, and I believe it's an onager. 3 and 4 is a 7. What could we hit here? Again, the towers can't really reach me. Let me shoot a missile fire. Can't do much either. Let's hit the artillery on the ground. Artillery on the ground. And I have 7, which puts me on that table. Let's do it. 3. And that missed. Every missile Judean fire. So my strategy, remember, was to not advance up to the wall in the first turn where he gets maximum firepower except with my rams. I don't know if that was a good strategy or not, because in the case of this one and this one, he took all his firepower to try to kill the guys on the ram. Now, just because I rolled bad isn't always going to happen. He could have stopped the rams. So let's say he did stop the rams. Where would I be? Well, is that terrible? Is that terrible to not be able to hit with the ram on my second turn? No, not really. I'm just going to funnel in more troops, and then the towers are going to be there next to the bastions, and then he has to shoot at the tower, so he's not going to get that same kind of firepower again. I think I would take that chance. So far, I think it's a good trade-off not to advance up to the wall, where now it's the Romans' turn, and on these two, at anyways, I'm going to put everybody I can on the wall. Now, after I get my missile fire, and with my missile fire, I have everybody ready to go to blow a hole on top of a bastion somewhere, probably this one, and I need to kill these two guys because he blocked me now from getting up there. And I'll try risky sorties once in a while. And again, that was another failed attack. I've really been rolling bad with the Judeans. Been rolling a little better with the Romans. So, anyways, it's the Roman fire phase. So on this one, I want to blow the bastions out and try to get him if I can. But I think it's more important because if I blow him away, I can get on there. Now again, remember I set up the onager and the ballista that it travels through no towers. Remember, it travels right along this corner, and I'm good right there and there. I already drew a line from center to center. So I have 11. I'll use this catapult. 11, 12, 13. I'm going to use this guy on top. He's within 4. 14. So it's 11, 12, 13, 14 for this one on top. I'll go 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 6 more for these two archers is 24. That puts me on a pretty good table right here on a bastion at 24. Let's try it. Oh, now I get the 6. So a 6 says an elimination and a disruption. So the elimination's gone and the disruption, and now he is forced to retreat. Oh, sorry, no. That's incorrect. So that one unit being disrupted does not have to retreat, so he'll remain there. And that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now, what I did was avoid any fire coming through the tower so I didn't have to get -1. But now with what I have left, I'm going to fire on this and go ahead and take the -1 for firing through a tower. So we are going to have this catapult 2, this catapult for 4, this guy 5, 6, The guy below him, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's it. So it's 10 going to be firing on infantry on the ground, which is the worst one to get on a clear. I'm way up here, and for multiple attacks, which is 3, I'm going to add 3 to the dice. I have to subtract 1. So I'm only adding 2 to the dice. And 1, 2, 3. Now, if I was firing at a higher target, that would hit my own men, but it's a guy on the ground. So I got a 3. And a 3 is an elimination and a disruption. And so, an elimination and 1 disrupted. And now the last thing I'll do here is hit the ram. 1 missed. Just what I didn't want. Now we will move to this one. Same thing. I'm going to hit a bastion where my towers are heading to. So in this one, I have the ballista and onager set up the same way on this hex, where it's crossing right here to go across the middle. So it's 11. We're hitting this, 11. I can throw this catapult in for 12. This catapult in for 14. And this catapult in for 16. Not this one, because it goes over the tower. So that's the catapults. Then I will put 18 and 3 is 21. That's on the tower. This one will be 22, 23. This is 24. So I hit 24 on that bastion. And this would be shooting again across the tower, so I'm not going to do it. So I have a 24. We can look on our table. The bastion again. It's a good roll. Remember, I rolled a 1 last time. Let's try to get better here. And I couldn't use this. Remember, I can only use that, and that. So I do have all this. I should have took that. So if I take everything I have and put it on that hex, it puts me on the 36 table, which is real good, but I have to -1 off my dice because I'm firing through siege engines. And I got a 3, which becomes a 2. And it's a 2Ds. And again, when you have 2Ds, you can't just put it all on one unit. You have to separate it. So, we will go those 2. Keep him like that. I don't want to lose the leader yet, even though he's a little bit weaker than the archer. It's only by 1 point, but I don't want to disrupt the leader yet. So that's that missile fire. Let's do the ram. And the ram's a 2, which gives it 1 more. Which puts that up to a 3. Okay, so this one missed. This one's up to a 3. Missile fire with everything I got's going on the fortress. So I've got 24. And I have to -1 firing through towers. Becomes a 3. At 24 on a fort. We have 1 disruption. Okay. There's no rams here yet. Let's go to this one. We're going to put everything on that fort. And now 24 hitting that. And I have to -1 firing through siege engines. And it is a 4. 2Ds. That's better rolling there. You know what? I'm going to put 1 on the Calderon. That's what it's there for. You know, give me a little boost to the rock drop, oil drop, and whatever, but absorb some hits. And that's all the missile fire. No more rams there. So now we will move on with the Roman movement phase. Now this is the way I'm conducting this movement. The archer will stay in place. One infantry stays in place. I showed you this before. So this guy pushes this up 1 hex. So anybody entering that tower hex has got to pay 2 for the movement cost. So these guys stayed here. They haven't moved yet. Now I come back here to try to find a 7, like right there. So if I move 1, it's not overstacked. 2, it's not overstacked because I could put 3 in a hex. So it's 1, 2, and then 2 to enter that is 4, and it's free to go up. He goes all the way up to the top. Then I simply put him pushing again, move him up to push. And that's the way that's done. I'm done. I only spend 1 turn with the leader trying to rally the artillery. He goes up to the tower. This guy will advance onto the tower right here. I will put these in support here for missile fire. And I'm going to get 1 more missile fire, which is going to kill this guy next turn. I'll just use this stuff right here, so I think I'm going to leave it. But yeah, I think I'll leave him up there. Since he's disrupted, I'm able to move around there. He doesn't have the zone of control blocking me. So I am going to, I think I'm going to just put some guys right in there. Let's kill him. All missile fire to jack him up. There, there, there. Not sure what I will. If I bring these guys up, which I guess I will. Remember, it's time to get all the missile fire we can. I'm just thinking about, usually I try to walk up and get an escalade somewhere. And then I put, you know, try to get missile infantry up there to help out. So we're going to try to fire these guys off the wall. Let's move all them in there. That's basically how the movement goes, and that's just a little trick I've been trying to figure out moving towers. Okay? I'm going to do the same to the other legions, and I'll come back and show you. This tower got stuck. I'm just thinking if I should either go after this bastion or just come up here and kill this guy, which is probably what I'll do. Yeah, let's do it. So same thing. I leave this guy behind, I leave him behind, and I find a 7, which is right there. He goes 1, 2, and then 2, because it moved 1 hex, I have to count 2, and then up to the top. When he's up at the top, the pushing guy that's still back here can enter it. The archer stays off. So we want to take out this right there. We're going to use what I have on the tower. And again, you can double the tax on the tower. So it's 14. And 6 is 12. So 12 and 14 is 26. And he's doubled in the bastion. He's a 3 on his disrupted side, which is a 6. So that becomes not quite 4 to 1. Too bad. See if I had the other tower, but it's 3 to 1. 3 to 1 odds right here. 4. And he's disrupted. So since he's already disrupted, he is dead. Since it is vacant, I can advance into the hex. And we will put him in there as well as the leader there. Now we want to attack this guy. And in front of him I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 to a 5. Now because this guy has no retreat available to him, I can double all of my attacks. So that guy's a 2, that guy's a 6, that's a 6, so it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 6 there is 22. Now he doesn't, fresh heavy infantry are not allowed to attack if they're stacked with Syrian archers or foederati, so he does not attack. So let's attack that at 22. He has a 5, so it's 4 to 1. And that's a 6. So he's dead. It just depends on how many. I get 2 E's. So when he's eliminated, you can advance into that and then continue to advance up to an additional how many E's you have on the elimination table, which I have 1 extra. I could go another hex, but I can't get up. I can get up here free of charge, but I can't go that way, so doesn't really do me any good to advance there, except for, would it help to put the archers there or not? Not really, because they get hit by rock throwers. So, because sitting from here I can still kill that guy. Let's just leave him. So we will take the 14 now. I want to hit this guy. He's on the wall. He's a 2. So he is doubled, being on the elevated hex is a 4, and I have a 14. So the odds on that are 6 to 1. -1 because of the elevated hex. And it's a 5. Boy, I am rolling better with the Romans. So we have 2. Oh, attacking in militia? No. Okay. That's 6 to 1. No, he has a 4. Sorry. It's 3 to 1. And it becomes first. Now I could throw the Roman archer. You put the infantry up there, man, and it gets really dangerous. These arrows will shoot right down on him and really jack him up. Being on the north wall, shooting down a wall, he gets to double his attack, I believe. Let's move to this one. Now I'm just going to go through the other ones. I'm showing you what's happened on the main one, trying to get through here. But just to help speed up the video, I'll do the other attacks. I'll figure them out and then just show you the rolls. So this 2 totals to 58, and he has 20 in there. Remember, he has 2 disrupted units and the leader. Everything's doubled. And it comes out, I don't quite have a 3 to 1, but it's 2 to 1. I get a +1 for using Titus. -1 because of the elevated hex. We have a 6. Wow, I'm rolling really good. The rolling's going to have to turn around here. But I guess that's the way the dice rolls. So 6 on 3 to 1, and we have 2 eliminations. Now, here's what happens in this attack. Now we're going to eliminate him and eliminate him. And then we get a second attack because we rolled a 6, so it's called a continuous attack. Now the odds are really up there. So now I have a 7 to 1 odds. And I add 1 to the dice. It's only a 2, but it's enough to give me an elimination. So I just destroyed their leader. And I can put a 7 there with my leaders. Actually, I'll put both 7s there with both leaders. Okay? That's how that works. Stupid, terrible 1. I'm going to take a crazy shot. There's 20, and I have a 14, so a 1 to 2 on that one. Ooh, and I rolled a 6. That's a continuous. So, and now I can recalculate and attack again because of a 6. And now he has a 16. It's still 1 to 2. And it's 5. And a 5 gives me a back. Now with a back, he has to retreat everybody there, or he disrupts a unit and retreats them. And since this is the last attack and he can't attack again, he will disrupt this guy and retreat him down a level. Because remember, the Judean's turns will come next, and he'll just reinforce the line. Okay? Now I'm just going to do the rest of the attacks, but everything works that way. So the Roman second turn is done, and we have killed this many on this turn, including the leader. So this one's hurting now. It's leaderless. Because I believe, and I'm going to have to look this up, you don't get your leader back until the next assault phase. So these ones that are disrupted, not good for them. And that's it. It is the Judean rally phase. So now the Judeans are going to roll for their reinforcements. And again, I'm only attacking on the wall, so he only gets 1 die, and I'll show you what he gets. He got 2 men. Let's see what they are. It is a, I believe that. Oh, that's still a militia. There we go, and a regular. So we get a militia and a regular back out of reserves. I can pick anywhere I want. And then we just got to rally our troops. I'll look up this rule, but I don't think these guys get a... Let's see what they... I think they have to add 1 to their dice for rallying. So all commanders are automatically replaced in the next assault phase. So let me go through a quick rally one for the Judeans. I don't know if that's a wise move to put the Judean leaders on, unless it's in a fort. I think that was bad to put them in a bastion, just like here. I think I got lucky because I didn't attack that hex. We'd have probably lost another leader, so I'm going to move the leader down off the wall. I thought the leader would be good there to help rally troops right there in the position, but not in a bastion. It's just not strong enough, so I'll only do it in forts. Anyways, let's rally now. Rally is there's no adjacent, no zone of control. So you're good there, and you're adjacent to your commander, which will give you a +2, I believe. Yes, -2 off your dice for those 2 guys. Oh, yeah, no matter what I get. Okay, so these 2 rally. And then we move to here. Now here, there is no zone of control between the towers and that. But being adjacent is going to be a +1, and being in missile fire is going to be a +1. And not in command control is a +1. So a +3 to that one. Wow. Got it. Well, the Judeans are getting lucky rolls now. This one is just a +1. Got it. But this one is a Zoc +1, adjacent +1, and no command control. +3 for him. Wow, 5 just missed. This one is next to their leader, so -1. And he's good, and the one below him missed. I don't think we did anything more in here, did we? Yes, we did. So being adjacent 1 and missile fire 1, but being stacked with your leader is 2, so it cancels out. Missed. Got it. Okay, and then on that one, being stacked with the leader is 2, but you're in missile fire and adjacent, so that cancels out. So see what you get. You missed that one, and now the Calderon. And the Calderon, I'm not sure is a 4 or not. You missed that one, and the Calderon's a 4. So the Calderon made it. And then the guy behind him, because he's adjacent as leader, he gets the -1. And he got it. So their rallying roll is done. That means we move to the Roman missile fire phase. This is where I like to really hit them again and see if I can still disrupt some of these archers that try to kill me. Well, I didn't roll as great. Finished off the breach there, and I think I did disrupt one guy there. Then over here, we killed a militia there, disrupted a militia there, and missed the guy there. Here we disrupted the Calderon. Now remember, all this firing is going now through siege towers, and I'm up against the wall. So I had to disrupt one of my pushing guys here because I rolled a 1 here and I rolled a 1 over here, and I disrupted the Valetti on top of the tower. So that's what happens when you're rolling a 1 and you're next to the tower. But then here I damaged 1 on the wall. I have 2 factors and I roll a 1. And I didn't roll good on this one, even though I put another, I think I did good on this one. I put 2 hits on it. And then I disrupted the Calderon here. And remember, he couldn't rally that 1 man, so there's actually 2 guys disrupted there. So I just keep pounding on the fortresses while I'm trying to break through the walls and attack them. I don't have all the power up there yet. I still have a catapult on each force not been rallied. And we'll keep going there. With the breach here, and I own a bastion. Remember, this was the easiest spot, and I plan on busting through. As the Judean, I'm going to have to really tighten up and close the gap. So, the missile phase is over. And remember, we added 2 troops, a regular and a militia. It's the end of the Roman missile phase. It's the Judean missile phase now. So, after the missile phase, we went ahead and just hit this clear hex where I had put Foderati, and we got a double D, so 2 are disrupted. This one shot out, missed. This one tried to hit the bastion at low odds, missed. That's all we had. This one had to shoot there, missed. With the rock throwing, that's why we went on a guy below. Oh, actually, we did. We did disrupt a guy pushing. So that was good. I know we had a few good shots. This one we couldn't do anything to. This one took this guy, because that one had a leader, so I figured to try this one. Missed. This one here, I took this, went after him, missed, but I took these 2 and these 2 rock throwers, went after him and disrupted. This one, I shot the top guy that was already disrupted, and I missed. And then these 2 rock throwers finally rolled a 6 and disrupted the bottom guy. So now I'm going to move and basically get my disrupted guys out of the way, reinforce them. Here, what I like to do is not cover the breach, because when the Romans come in the breach, they attack out of it half strength. So I put my strong guys behind it. I have to block the stairs and block the breach. So I have to put a row of guys here, and then I'll probably just put militia in here, because if the Romans attack it and get a 6 or continuous combat, okay, well, he moves in and attacks, which is what I'd want him to do anyways, of course, is tack out of the breach at half strength. But if he doesn't get a good roll, the militia can basically stop him. So That's what I do. I put weak militia there and the strong units behind. Get archers here so I can fire up at this wall and hopefully damage him. So, I'll come back after the movement. So I weakened this side some more, brought in archers, weakened this. Stacked up as many archers as I can reach possibly here to try to fire on that. I did melee against this. None of my melee succeed. I did roll a couple 6s, but I rolled a couple 6s on the ones that were 1 to 2. Failed on this one, failed on this one, and failed on this one. So none of the melee came through. I brought over these archers from this unit because nothing's really happening here yet, and supported this. It looks like I'm weak on archers here. I still have 2 here, and I got them there, and 2 there. I'm bringing this one over, and I try not to panic too much and start rushing to the area. I've got time, but I'll slowly bring them over. I think I've lost one here, or at least a couple, and I'm trying to rally him. So my next reserve, I need to get them some archers. So that is the end of the Judean.